JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 5th of April 2021. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Monday's afternoon session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, some of the charts that we looked at this morning, some new ones of course. But yep, before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yep, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top, guys. So now then, jumping into the charts, the first one I want to pick up here is the DXY. So I'm not covering any of the indices because, well, I mean, for obvious reasons, the markets are kind of closed today, so due to Easter Monday. But yeah, we'll still go through some of the instruments, some commodities, some cryptos, and some pairs. So yep. Looking at this index, the dollar index, you can see that, yep, it's drifting a little bit to the downside. Of course, certainly the volume is on the lower side today, but that's understandable. However, on the positive note, the fact that it's still trading above all of these lines here, the short-term tentative upside support line drawn from the low of the 25th of February, and of course this this downside line here taken from the high of the 25th of September. Now, and the fact that also the price is balancing above the 200-day EMA, and all that kind of gives that nice positivity, or should I say keeps that nice positivity still here. So yep, for now basically we can continue kind of aiming slightly to the upside here. Jumping into silver, and yeah, silver is drifting, or actually I wouldn't say drifting, but it came back again and is now pushing higher. As you can see, the commodity here is back above this this level right here, this 24.84 mark. Now previously it did drop below it, it moved lower. However, as you can see, it kind of traded around this 200-day EMA here on the daily chart, shown as the black line. And yep, the bulls apparently kind of it was enough for the bulls to step in here and drive the commodity higher. Now, one thing that I'm going to keep an eye on here as well will be this little downside resistance line. Let me just put this one quickly on the chart here. There we go. So this downside line is taken from the high of the 1st of February, and in a way, what we are seeing right now is a nice correction here to the upside. But again, if the bulls are not able to lift the commodity, the precious metal here above this downside line and push it above this 25.46 territory right here, then yes, another slide could be possible. However, again, let's not rush into anything. Let's see how this how silver will perform near this downside line, and if it gets broken, then yes, higher levels could be met. But if it fails, yes, we could go for the downside again. However, I would prefer maybe to see a drop again below this, below the 24.84 territory right here, in order to go for the downside. For the upside, by the way, also to mention something, why I'm looking at this level here, the 25.46 territory, it not only that it kind of acted as a good area of resistance and support in the past here, but also it kind of is coinciding with the 100-day EMA here, shown as the green line. line. And also, if we get a pop above this, we would also see the commodity getting placed above basically all of its EMAs here, the ones that I have on the chart. And then, yes, more buyers could join in. Now, jumping into Brent oil. So Brent oil is, yeah, it's stuck a little bit. So let me just actually clear up the chart here from a few lines, or actually I can recycle these lines here and yep, use them here. Now, basically, for now, what I'm keeping an eye on here, there are a few levels. Now, let me just grab this one here, drag it up all the way here. Now, for now, of course, the fact that it's still kind of trading near the 21-day EMA is kind of really neither. It's a no one's game. Yes, it's overall it's still trading above this upside support line, although tentative a little bit, but nevertheless an upside support line drawn from the low of the 20th of April of 2020. We are well above this upside line, and we're currently near the short-term tentative resistance line taken from the high of the 8th of March. Now, if you want to go for some higher levels, well, wait for a pop above this downside line, and then a push above the 66.50 territory somewhere around here might do the trick for more buyers. But at the moment, guys, I'm probably the safest bet is to keep kind of calm here, probably maybe more neutral, and just wait for that violation of one of those levels. For the downside, what I need to see here is a drop below the 60.30 zone here, marked by the lowest point of March, in order to consider maybe a bit of a larger correction to the downside. Bitcoin Cash, very quickly on that one, looking good here, popping higher, yep, clearing this this 602 territory, 602, 603, approximately around there, and now it's on its way to test the 632. Let's round it up here a little bit. The 632 mark. Let's see if we can get a nice touch of that area. For now, I would say let's see how this is going to play out, guys. I mean, for now, yes, everything's looking quite positive. We are above the steep short-term tentative upside line taken from the low the 24th of March, and everything's kind of pointing right now towards the upside. I'll get a little bit even more comfortable if we see the daily candle staying above this area, this 603 territory. If it does stay above it, then yes, I will go for some higher levels. Now, for the downside, for obvious reasons, of course, we would need to see a break of this upside line here, and then I would actually prefer to wait for a drop below this little hurdle, the 522 zone, and yeah, then kind of go for further declines. But at the moment, I'm just kind of observing the price action here, and yeah, let's see how all this is going to play out. But I'm leaning a little bit more towards the upside. Ethereum. So Ethereum had a good run. And yep, this idea worked out nicely. I talked about this last week, and yep, we managed to not only reach this this area near the 1942 mark, we've also managed to overcome the all-time high here, which was previously near the 2039 mark, approximately around here. We managed to overcome that, and we managed to hit an area. Let me just grab this one very quickly. Hit an area near the 2144 zone. So now let's see what we're going to do next. Of course, excuse me. Oh, excuse me, guys. Something got stuck in my throat. But okay, yeah. Hopefully everything's kind of back to normal now. So for the upside, basically what I'm looking here for, of course, is whenever we reach an all-time high, is of course a break of the previous kind of all-time high here, or let's put it this way, the current all-time high, the 2144, a nice clear break above that area of course, may attract more buyers into the game, because this would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and then yep, like I said, we could see this one pushing further north. If you can see here on the monthly chart, you'll see how far we have traveled here, and well, basically, this up move is quite a spectacular one. I mean, the same story is on Bitcoin and on other cryptos. Certainly, the crypto world is kind of one of the favorite ones right now. But will this, how far will this continue? Well, I mean, it's always with these, you have to be very careful. On one hand, yes, it's still, everything is still very attractive here, and still kind of looking quite interesting. But don't get me wrong, at some point it will have to correct to the downside. But at the moment, we're not really seeing any kind of clear indication for a possible larger correction. So again, that's why, guys, be very careful with this. But coming back to the levels here, now you can see that Ethereum is currently kind of still balancing above this 2039 territory, which is the highest point of February. So I would say that if it continues to trade above this, then yes, there is a good chance we could see another push higher. But if it suddenly falls below it, and then let's say drops below the 1942 territory right here somewhere, marked by the high of the 13th of March, now that's where we could go for a bit of a corrective move here towards this upside support line taken from the low of the 23rd of December of last year, of course. Now, and then we'll take it from there. Now, jumping into a few pairs, AUD, NZD here. I've looked at this one last week, and basically I said to you that if we get a drop below this 1.0844 territory, then yes, we could go for some lower areas, a further move towards this upside line could be possible, and this upside line is drawn from the low the 3rd of February. So yeah, a lot of kind of a lot of interesting, exciting here for the bulls. Could be if this area near this upside line will continue to provide support. Now, again, today we saw a push higher, but as you can see, once again, this barrier now it acted once again as a good resistance level. I mean, it previously acted as that, but then it took the role of support, and then now it's taking the role of resistance once again. Also, just to kind of the slight negativity is the fact that the rate is kind of back below the 21-day EMA, and this kind of gives us kind of the thinking that there is a potential for a test, a better test of this upside support line. So be very careful. If you want to look at some higher levels, well then probably wait for a clear move back above the 1.0844 territory, and then yes, in a way we could start aiming for some higher levels. Now, NZDCAD here. Now, looking at this picture, you can see that yes, the pair did manage to break this downside line taken from the high of the 25th of February, and in a way now it seems that it's willing to travel higher. Now, I'll probably be a little bit more on the careful side, and let me just adjust some of these levels. Some of these levels are no longer needed and valid. Like, for example, these here, I mean, these are from the previous analysis. Some of these lines are also in the way. I just want to keep some of these other ones, so that's why I don't want to clear everything straight away. But basically, we can see that, for example, here in March, at the end of March, the pair found support near the 0.8750 territory, from which it kind of rebounded. It tested again this level, but then, yep, you can see it proved to be a strong area of support. It rebounded, pushed higher, broke the downside line here, and stayed above it. So this, of course, kind of gives that better indication for a possible move higher. However, I will be a little bit more on the careful side, because let's not forget that overall we're trading now below all of the EMAs here, which kind of could be seen as a bit of a bearish indication. However, let's put it this way: if it pushes above the 0.8850 territory right here, yes, I'll go for some higher levels, but I will be very, very careful. First of all, near the 21-day EMA, and then near the 200-day EMA, if the 21-day EMA gets broken, of course. But if it doesn't, if it acts as a good area of resistance, well, another slide here, guys, could be possible. So that's why, for example, if you would like to go for some much higher levels here, then probably wait for a push at least above the 0.8942 territory, somewhere around here, which currently coincides with the 200-day EMA, and that, by the way, is also the highest point of September of last year. And also you can see that it acted as a fantastic area of support here back around mid March. So that's why this level could be a more important one for the upside. USDJPY, very quickly on this one. So drifting lower, 110.75 territory continued to provide resistance. Yes, we had a few overshoots here, but kind of overall, yes, it still kind of provided that good resistance. Now, in order to go for some higher levels, a break of that level is needed, and I would prefer actually to see the daily candle staying above that area in order to get a little bit more excited with higher levels. But as you can see, so far this area is kind of the stronger side, and we're seeing today a bit of a decline here. Now, for the downside, previously I said that I would like to see a drop below this 109.85 zone, which is the highest point of June of 2020. And also at the same time, if we get a drop below this hurdle, then watch out. I mean, don't watch out, but keep in mind that also this could come in line with the break of this upside support line. Tentative, of course, but nevertheless an upside support line taken from the low of the 23rd of February. And yep, maybe more sellers could see this as a good opportunity to step in. So keep that in mind, guys. I mean, for now, yes, there is still a chance for the bulls to step in somewhere around here near the upside line, but I would prefer to wait for a push above the 110.75 territory in order to aim for some higher levels. And for the downside, I'll repeat myself, the 109.85 level, that's what I'm looking at in order to consider maybe a bit of a larger correction to the downside. GBPUSD, so pushing higher, pushing nicely above this 1.3847 territory. I talked about this last week, guys, and I said that in order to go for some higher levels, we need to see a push above this barrier, and we got that. So now the next target is the psychological 140 mark. So let's see if we can reach that, especially if the pair today stays above this 1.3847 territory. If it does that, then yes, like I said, my next target is the 1.40 level. EURUSD, finally this one, and yeah, pushing higher and coming close again to this downside resistance line taken from the high of the 25th of February. Will it hold? Well, again, we'll just have to wait and see, guys. I mean, this is an interesting point right now. Will we get a break of it, and or will this downside line hold? If it holds, yes, another slide could be possible. But if it breaks, yes, we could go for some higher levels. But as I mentioned to you previously, excuse me, as I mentioned to you previously, that I would still prefer to wait for a push above the 1.1834 territory right here, marked by the low of the 9th of March, which also coincides with the 200-day EMA, and maybe then more buyers could join in. So keep that in mind, keep that in your heads, guys. I mean, of course, you'll be the judge for yourself. I mean, you know yourself better, you know your trading style much better. But again, like I said, this is just a quick kind of overview and just a few ideas so that this would kind of go perfectly with your own ideas as well. So yeah, always, like I said, always I would say you know yourself better. There we go. Now, okay, guys, this is it. This is it for this session. So if you want to catch me tomorrow, the market is going to be open more. Hopefully, we'll get a bit more volatility. But yeah, catch me tomorrow at my Traders Espresso, as always, 6 o'clock GMT time. Yep, in the morning, and then yeah, we'll take it from there. We'll pick up on some of these instruments, some new ones. And yeah, we'll see what Tuesday has prepared for us. So, guys, thank you very much for joining in. Thank you very much for your views, for your likes, and I really appreciate that. I really do. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.